Hello, Salesforce Trailblazers. Welcome to another episode of the Salesforce BA Hub podcast. Today, we're getting into the nuts and bolts of Salesforce release management. Whether you're a seasoned business analyst or just prepping for your Salesforce Business Analyst certification, this episode is going to be a gold mine. So, let's get started. Salesforce identifies 3 primary release categories: major, minor, and emergency. Each category serves a specific purpose, and understanding these can help streamline your development and release process. Let's start with major releases. These are typically planned and scheduled far in advance due to their large scope. For example, you might be rolling out a new Salesforce module company-wide. This type of release often involves extensive changes and impacts multiple areas of the organization. Minor releases, on the other hand, usually involve small changes or enhancements, like adding a new field to a Salesforce object or modifying a workflow rule. For instance, let's say the sales team requested a new checkbox field on the opportunity object to track if a product demo has been given. This would fall under a minor release. Lastly, we have emergency releases. These are typically executed to resolve critical issues or bugs that can't wait for the next scheduled release. For instance, if there was a bug in a critical Apex class preventing users from logging in, an emergency release might be required to fix it immediately. Remember, while these examples provide some clarity, the exact categorization can vary depending on your company's specific release management process. The key is to understand the concept and apply it as needed in your role. Next, let's demystify change sets. In the Salesforce ecosystem, a change set is a container for moving metadata between orgs. They are invaluable for managing and implementing changes, especially in a multi-org setup. Change sets are a powerful tool for deploying changes between Salesforce orgs. They're essentially containers where you can bundle together related sets of changes. Let's walk through a practical example. Imagine you're working on a project to improve the lead management process for your sales team. You've added some new custom fields on the lead object, created a new workflow rule to auto-assign leads based on certain criteria, and built a few reports and dashboards to track lead conversion rates. Once you've built and tested these changes in your sandbox, you're ready to move them to production. To do this, you'd create a new outbound change set in your sandbox, add all the new custom fields, the workflow rule, and the reports and dashboards to the change set, and then upload it to your production org. After the change set is uploaded, someone with the deploy change sets permission in your production org would then need to deploy the change set to make the changes take effect. Change sets provide a controlled, traceable method of deploying changes, which is crucial for maintaining the integrity and reliability of your Salesforce org. Finally, let's delve into why it's vital to track changes and dependencies for change set releases. Tracking provides visibility, aids in debugging, and helps ensure a smooth release. Tracking changes and dependencies is an essential part of maintaining a healthy Salesforce environment. To illustrate this point, let's consider a real-life scenario. A few years ago, a cohort of mine worked with a client who was experiencing significant challenges with their Salesforce org. They had multiple admins and developers making changes directly in the production environment without any formal process to track what was being changed and why. Over time, this led to a host of issues, including duplicate fields, workflows that interfered with each other, and a large volume of unused reports and dashboards. One particular incident stands out. An admin had created a validation rule on the opportunity object to enforce data quality. However, they were unaware that a developer was simultaneously working on an Apex trigger on the same object. The validation rule and the trigger ended up conflicting with each other, causing errors whenever users try to update opportunities. This could have been avoided if changes and dependencies were properly tracked. Knowing who is making what changes and why allows for better coordination and prevents the kind of clash we saw in this scenario. By implementing a solid change management process and using tools to track changes and dependencies, such as change sets or version control systems, the client was able to significantly improve the stability and reliability of their Salesforce org. And that's a wrap on the basics of Salesforce release management. Remember, understanding these concepts is not just crucial for passing the Salesforce Business Analyst certification exam, but it's also fundamental to your success in the Salesforce world. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll continue on this journey of Salesforce mastery.